be the voice of Alabama politics. We're here today once again with the Speaker of the House, Mac McCutcheon.
Bill,
Speaker,
welcome to the People's House. Good to have you back.
Love to hear that. It has more and more over this session been a testament to your leadership that it is the Speaker's House. I know it some days it's been harder than others, and there have been some challenges. We're winding up. We're getting down toward the end.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about what you're looking at, what we're looking forward to next week.
Well, we'll be addressing the budgets. We've got the general fund budget that's going to be coming down from the Senate. We've got the education budget that's already come down from the Senate. We're trying to get those budgets in position where we can get them on the floor and address them. I feel like that we'll be in a good position to move the general fund budget. Probably we'll move it out quicker from the House to send it to the governor than we will the education budget. I think there's a couple of little issues there that we'll need a conference committee to work on the education budget. But other than that, the budgets will get out. We've got the redistricting bill. The Senate has passed theirs. We're in the process of working through ours now. Next week we should have that out and sent up to the Senate, vice versa, the Senate in the House, and we'll address those.
And getting this done is not only critical for the 2018 election. It's very critical because we have a senatorial election coming up. It has to do with that? Is that correct?
Well, the court orders given to us did not reference the Senate,
Did not, okay.
but our legislative districts and House districts, of course, will have an effect on where people vote and the district lines. So sure, there'll be a spin-off effect that will come from that, of course.
Well, I just thought that these candidates are probably a little concerned that they don't want to hold an election that somebody can go, oh, do over.
That's right. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Challenge
Good
in
point.
court.
Yeah.
The budgets are always a contentious issue until they're settled. And these have gone relatively well, I think. Some of the bigger things that have been contentious and still are the prison bill.
Yes, we of course, we're in court now over that. We should be hearing a court ruling on that case any time. The Senate has passed the bill. We're working on the Senate version of the bill. The governor is supportive of the prison bill, and she would like to see us pass something during this session. The House has a substitute for the Senate bill, and we had mentioned before in your program about the fact that the difference in the Senate version and the House version is that we are going to have the opportunity to build 3 men's facilities. Right. And the bonding and the infrastructure and the actual property and location of these prisons will be in counties and cities that want to come together and furnish the infrastructure for the facility. The Department of Corrections will oversee that and then lease that property from the local entity for so many years, and what that does, it cuts down on the indebtedness of the state to have to borrow so much money in their bonds. By doing that, it guarantees that local community some income. It's an economic boost for them and a growth for them, and it also helps the state on their indebtedness on the bond. Then the other aspect of the bill that was not in the Senate bill was the building of a new women's facility.
Right.
And we've talked about that. And so there's some changes there in the substitute, but I think we're about ready to put a product before the committee, hopefully get it out of committee, and within a few days we're going to be voting on it in the House.
It looks, by all accounts, that any hope of passing a fuel tax, a gas tax to support infrastructure is dead for this session. I know I was on the radio station down in Mobile last week, and I said, well, anybody that drives the state all the time, especially country roads, knows that a lot of them, they look like they've been bombed out.
Yeah.
And I guess my thinking is, how do we continue economic growth without the infrastructure to support it?
Personally, of course, I'm pretty passionate about this issue. we can't continue our economic growth in Alabama because we can't compete. If we can't move commerce up and down our highways, product in, product out, we're not going to be able to compete for economic jobs and growth. And another issue that I think is important is that we need to be thinking about the school bus drivers,
Right.
the emergency response people, the bridges that are restricted, all of these moving farm products up and down the road, the paper industry, the logging industry, all of these things are important to the state of Alabama.
And the thing about a fuel tax is the only people that pay it are the people who use the roads.
It's a user fee,
Yeah,
really, when you look at it. But I would hope, Bill, that even though we're not going to see a gas tax during this session, I would hope that we continue the discussion, and according to Washington, D.C., we keep getting bits and pieces of information from Washington that they are going to come out with an infrastructure plan, a national plan. And Alabama could stand to lose millions of dollars because we do not have the money put back to make some of the matches that we're going to be able to make. And we very well could be in trouble.
Overall, on this year's session, I know I think next week's going to be a marathon. What do you feel is the most significant thing that you've been able to accomplish?
I think we have passed some good pieces of legislation dealing with some economic growth issues. We have listened to the people of Alabama on certain issues like the autism issue that we've had. We did not yield to big business, big industry and their interest. We really listened to the people and we responded to the people. Out of the House, we passed that autism bill, which ultimately is good for families and children, which helps us on, it's a proactive type approach. Because if we don't try to help and treat some of these kids and these children growing up, we're going to have to spend money either in the school system or possibly in the mental health system or possibly even in the prison system. And so we're trying to be proactive and help our society be better. So I'm really thankful. And then, of course, we've worked hard to have two good budgets. The education budget is better than it's been in several years. We've saved some money. We're not just borrowing everything that we're working on. The general fund budget, we're actually going to have a carryover in the general fund to help us offset the deficit next year. Well, that's proactive. We're not just spending every dollar and then next year trying to be head over heels in debt. And so it's little things like that that has really made this session successful.
Well, they're telling me that I don't have any more time, but since I run the show, I'm going to take a little more time.
Okay.
I heard the other night that it was getting kind of rowdy in here, and I love this. You said, "Now settle down, everybody." Did you learn that from somebody?
Well, I think just living life. But my wife listens sometimes, and she'll send me a text, and she'll say, "Well, everybody's listening," and everybody gets passionate. I love this body. I do. I love the members in this body. They're good people and they work hard. But everybody gets passionate and they get excited, and sometimes you just have to calm everybody down and tell them to go back to their seats, turn their lights on, and then we'll debate the issues. So, but people do they laugh at me sometimes with some of my statements.
No, it's good. I tell you, they settled down.
Oh, they thank goodness they responded to me. So I'm very appreciative of that.
Well, Mr. Speaker, we appreciate your leadership.
Good to be with you.
Thank you for joining us.
Okay, thank you.
We want to thank Speaker Mac McCutcheon for joining us each week. We also want to let you know that you can watch more of The V, an extended version, on the web only at alreporter.com. Thank you for watching The V. You watch us because we watch them.